Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to mountain bike on the road. You guys could use these tips on any application on the road. When you're mountain biking, you could be on the sidewalk or on like a little paved trail, you know, bikes only paved trail or something like that. But these are more on the roads that cars drive on specifics. So step number one, you guys always want to use the less traveled roads or roads with big bike lanes on them or sidewalks on them. Whatever you can find. Just using those lower traveled roads specifically so that you're not getting bombarded with a lot of traffic or getting passed a lot while you're on that bike lane or on the edge of the road, just because it's more dangerous. Second thing is, if you want to go group ride with a bunch of roadies, I wouldn't do it the first time that you start mountain biking on the road, just because you don't have a lot of the skills and just a lot of the knowledge that you need to mountain bike on the road. But as soon as you think you're prepared enough, then I would go out on the road rides. I do it all the time on my mountain bike. It's just fine. You just have to make sure that you have those skills so that other people can see that you have those skills, and it'll make them confident with riding with you. So you're going to want to be cognizant of a few things while you're out there on the road. You're going to want to shoulder check quite often, which is kind of where you just lean over and use your peripheral vision to see if there's any cars coming. I wouldn't do it every 5 seconds just because you can get off-centered of your path of travel and you could go out into that traffic instead of actually veering out. So you just want to hold those hands, kind of your arms, just as locked as they can in that position so that your bars don't really go like that and you don't turn out into the lane. Before you head out on your ride, you're going to want to check the wind forecast, and you're going to need to brace yourself if you're going to go into a headwind, and you're going to need to plan your route around that if you don't think you can handle that headwind. If you do, that's fine, go into the headwind. If you don't, you need to plan your route in the opposite direction so that you can have a tailwind the majority of the ride, because your heart rate's going to be high already on the road just because there's more stress because there's cars around you and stuff like that. And that's another point that I want to make. I would suggest warming up at home if you have a rollers or trainer or something like that, or just in your neighborhood where there's less traffic so that you don't go immediately into the fire. At this point, I've kind of already trained myself to go immediately into the fire. So I'll spike my heart rate immediately when I'm going out to ride to either the trails or just go out and do some intervals on the road. However long your general warm-up is, just do that at home or in your neighborhood. Now we're going to get into what you need to do to prep your bike to get it ready to be roadworthy. So first thing I always like to do is pump the tires up to at least 30 psi. That just gives you less rolling resistance, and it helps me if I ever run over glass or a nail or something like that. If you're tubeless, the tire will seal, and I won't have to put extra air in it from a CO2, or it'll just drop down to maybe like 25 psi and it'll seal up by then. If you have more air in there, it's gonna leak out faster probably because there's more pressure, but it's going to leave you with more air left in the tire once that tire seals up. Second thing is, I would always recommend one of those little blinky tail lights. You're going to need to prepare yourself for a higher output of effort out on the road, as it's not like the trails, because you're already going to have some stress built up, which is going to increase your heart rate by 10 to 20 beats per minute just from all the cars around you and stuff like that. And then you're going to want to keep a speed that's higher than you normally would on a closed course or a sidewalk or something like that, so your heart rate's going to be higher. So just prepare yourself for a bigger effort than you would normally do on trails. Where I live, I don't really have a lot of bad drivers when I'm out on my rides. Anywhere from like an hour to 3 hour ride on the road, I only get maybe max one driver, if not any bad drivers on the road. They normally are pretty cognizant of me and they'll give me a lot of room and they'll pass safely, but just don't get too emotionally involved in it if somebody does run you off the road. Although I do completely understand the emotions that are in that, especially if you're not as prepared as the other person maybe to defend themselves. So you just want to be careful out there. There's a lot of crazy people. You always want to use hand signals as well. you can really use anything. I wouldn't suggest the proper hand signals because probably a good half of where you live and the driver's there have no clue what those proper hand signals actually mean. So I just kind of point the majority of the time because everybody can understand pointing. And if there's a road off to the side, they understand that normally means you're about to make a turn. Alright, so I'm going to go out on a ride in a little bit out to that little park that I normally go to, like I showed in the day in the life video. And I'll show you some clips from that on what you're going to want to do, where you're going to want to stay in the lane. I'll show you sidewalk procedure, I'll show you bike lane procedure, and then I'll show you a road with no bike lane because that's a big section of the road that I go down. Got back from my ride and I thought of a few things that I didn't mention earlier. One thing, you need to remember to wear glasses, either cycling glasses or some form of sunglass, because the road is just like way brighter and it just reflects a lot more heat and stuff like that, and your eyes will literally die if you forget sunglasses out there. Unlike the trails, you can kind of get away with it on the trails unless you're riding with a group of people. But on the road, you need those sunglasses. And they're gonna get sweat on them and stuff. Just keep them on the whole time, especially for safety, because a lot of dump trucks or semis or just normal cars and stuff like that can flick up dirt or rocks or something like that, and you just don't want your eye to get all jacked up. Or the wind can just pick up a bunch of crap and go into your eyes. Another thing I wanted to say was that you guys just need to use as much common sense as you can out there on the road just to stay safe. But I know I stress safety a lot in this video, so just go out there, use common sense, do the right things, stop at the stop signs, look before you turn places, signal and stuff like that. But really just go out there and have a good time. Mountain biking on the road is like one of the best things to do. It's so much fun because you can hit random stuff that you wouldn't be able to hit on a road bike, but you're also able to ride on the road to get places. So it's the benefit of both worlds. You can see a lot more things out on the road, and not more things, just different things than you would generally see in trails. Just go out there and have fun. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more epic content, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.